Soishtu-kuri, ancient temples wrapped in autumn colors. The same temples buried under winter snow. Forest pathways transformed by spring blossoms. Summer festivals that completely change the atmosphere. Country where all of these experiences happen in the exact same locations. Japan's 15 most iconic destinations aren't just places. They're time-sensitive experiences that transform completely with each passing season. In this compilation, I'll show you the dramatic seasonal changes that make timing your visit crucial, and why experienced travelers often plan multiple trips to see the same places during different times of the year. Did you know there's a remote Japanese village where traditional houses look completely different every 3 months? In Shirakawago, time doesn't just pass, it transforms the entire landscape. Nestled in the mountainous Gifu Prefecture, this UNESCO World Heritage Site showcases distinctive gassho-zukuri farmhouses with steep thatched roofs that resemble hands pressed together in prayer. These architectural marvels weren't designed for aesthetics alone. Their 60-degree angled roofs serve the practical purpose of preventing collapse under the region's heavy winter snowfall, sometimes reaching depths of several meters. Winter blankets Shirakawago in deep snow, transforming the village into an enchanted wonderland during evening light-up events. The crunch of fresh powder underfoot echoes through the silence as golden light spills from windows onto pristine snow. This seasonal iteration honors the ingenious design of these centuries-old structures. As spring arrives, mountain snowmelt streams down to fill surrounding rice paddies, creating mirror-like surfaces perfectly reflecting the farmhouses and budding vegetation. The village awakens with farmers beginning their planting season, continuing agricultural rhythms unchanged for generations. Summer bathes Shirakawago in vibrant greens as thatched roofs contrast against clear blue skies. Between the ancient houses, vegetable gardens flourish, while wild grasses and flowers carpet the village. The gentle rustle of thatch being repaired fills the air as families engage in yui, communal roof maintenance that embodies the cooperative spirit, sustaining this isolated settlement through centuries. When autumn comes, Shirakawago displays perhaps its most stunning face. The surrounding maple, beech, and oak forests erupt in fiery reds, oranges, and golds. These colors reflect in the mature rice paddies awaiting harvest, casting a golden glow across the entire village. The weathered thatched roofs, set against autumn foliage, create a harmony that photographers travel worldwide to capture. A visual testimony to the village's enduring connection with natural cycles that have shaped its distinctive cultural identity. Speaking of stunning seasonal transformations, just as autumn paints Shirakawago in golden hues, another Japanese landmark undergoes its own metamorphosis. The famous tunnel of torii gates at Fushimi Inari Shrine might be one of Japan's most photographed locations. But did you know that fewer than 1% of visitors ever witness how dramatically different these gates appear as the seasons change around them? Fushimi Inari Taisha stands as Kyoto's most visited shrine, where over 10,000 vermilion torii gates create winding pathways up Mount Inari. Dedicated to the Shinto god of rice, this sacred mountain trail stretches nearly 4 kilometers, with gates donated by businesses seeking prosperity. Most tourists capture photos at the densely packed initial section, rarely venturing beyond to experience the shrine's true character. The gates serve as a living calendar, marking time through an ever-changing dialogue with nature. In spring, cherry blossoms create a delicate pink canopy, filtering sunlight through both blooms and gates, casting dappled light patterns that exist for merely 2 weeks each year. Summer transforms the mountain completely as lush vegetation envelops the shrine grounds, while cicadas call between the gates. Early morning visitors might encounter mysterious fog weaving between the vermilion columns before 7 a.m., when the day's heat burns it away. Autumn brings perfect harmony as the distinction between gates and nature dissolves. The vermilion color perfectly complements the red Japanese maples and golden ginkgo trees lining the path, a time local photographers consider the shrine's most photogenic moment. Winter reveals perhaps the most extraordinary transformation when rare Kyoto snowfall creates a striking contrast between pristine white and bright vermilion, a spectacle so uncommon that Japanese photographers rush to the shrine at the mere forecast of light snow. Each season rewrites the shrine's story, yet most visitors experience only a single chapter of this living passage through time. When it comes to seasonal transformations, no landmark in Japan undergoes a more profound metamorphosis than its most recognizable symbol. Standing proudly at 3,776 meters, Mount Fuji isn't just Japan's tallest peak, it's a sacred symbol that has inspired artists, poets, and spiritual seekers for centuries. The perfectly symmetrical volcanic cone dominates the landscape and appears on everything from traditional woodblock prints to modern corporate logos, embodying the Japanese aesthetic ideal of balanced beauty. Experiencing Fuji throughout the year is like turning pages in a timeless novel, with each season revealing a new chapter of the mountain's character. Winter presents Fuji in its most complete snow covering, especially during January and February. These cold, dry days often offer the clearest visibility, with the mountain's full silhouette appearing against strikingly blue skies. The 5 Fuji-goko lakes partially freeze, creating mirror-like surfaces that double the mountain's reflection. Spring brings the rare Diamond Fuji phenomenon, where the sun aligns perfectly with the summit, creating a diamond-like effect visible from specific locations like Lake Yamanaka. At Chiredo Pagoda in Fujiyoshida, cherry blossoms frame the distant snow-capped peak in quintessential Japanese scenes. Summer reveals volcanic black rock along Fuji slopes as snow melts away. During the climbing season from July through early September, some 300,000 climbers tackle the ascent. Purple lavender fields and vibrant wildflower meadows at Oishi Park and Yagasaki Park Peninsula create stunning foregrounds for photographers. Autumn transformation offers perhaps the most magical chapter. Surrounding forests blaze with red and gold foliage, while Fuji receives its first fresh dusting of snow. This creates extraordinary opportunities to capture autumn colors and winter snow in a single frame, what photographers call three-season Fuji. What makes this visual journey even more special? Mount Fuji is visible on only 80 days per year, with each glimpse revealing a fundamentally different mountain depending on when you're lucky enough to see it. Beyond mainland Japan's shifting landscapes lies a sacred island, where architecture and nature perform a daily dance with the sea itself. Miyajima Island, home to the famous floating torii gate of Itsukushima Shrine, offers visitors a constantly changing visual feast dictated by both tides and seasons. The 16-meter-tall Vermilion Gate transforms throughout the day, creating 2 distinct experiences. During high tide, the structure appears to float magically on the Seto Inland Sea, the postcard image that draws travelers from across the globe. At low tide, the gate stands firmly on exposed seabed, allowing visitors to walk beneath its massive wooden pillars. Many travelers describe feeling a profound sense of wonder when witnessing these transformations, as if seeing 2 completely different monuments in the span of a single day. Each season paints this sacred site with distinct colors and moods. Spring bathes the scene in pink as cherry blossoms frame the Vermilion Gate, while evening illuminations cast golden reflections across the water's surface. Photographers consider this combination of blossoms and reflections among Japan's most challenging yet rewarding compositions. Summer transforms the island with the spectacular Water Fireworks Festival, where colorful bursts launched from boats illuminate both the gate and its watery reflection. The island buzzes with visitors in yukata, enjoying street food along the shopping street. Autumn brings perhaps the most dramatic transformation as Mount Fuji's dense forests erupt in brilliant reds and golds. The maple trees surrounding Daishoin Temple and the 5-story pagoda perfectly complement the shrine's vermilion architecture. The island's 500 free-roaming deer participate in this seasonal cycle, with spotted fawns appearing in spring and adults developing thicker coats as temperatures drop. These curious creatures, once considered divine messengers, add movement to this living canvas that changes with each passing tide and season. As nature transforms Miyajima's landscape through tides and seasons, another Japanese treasure undergoes its own metamorphosis throughout the year. Imagine a building so radiant it seems to capture sunlight itself, yet changes its character entirely as cherry blossoms fall. Maples turn crimson, or snow blankets its surroundings. Kinkakuji transforms into 4 distinct temples depending on when you arrive. In Kyoto's northern hills stands Kinkakuji, officially named Rokunji, a Zen Buddhist temple whose upper floors are completely encased in brilliant gold leaf. Built in 1397 as a retirement villa for Shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu, this architectural marvel sits beside a Kyoko-chi mirror pond, designed to perfectly capture its reflection, doubling the visual impact of its golden presence. Each season reveals Kinkakuji's unique character. In spring, weeping cherry trees dot the shoreline with delicate pink blossoms, creating a gentle contrast against the pavilion's metallic brilliance. Summer brings Japanese maples to their fullest green expression, surrounding the temple with verdant life. Autumn transforms Kinkakuji most dramatically. The surrounding maple trees burst into fiery reds and oranges, complementing the golden structure. Winter's first snowfall creates a stark minimalist canvas for the Gold Pavilion. Temple caretakers sweep snow from the roof while leaving ground snow undisturbed, creating a juxtaposition where gold emerges directly from whiteness, a scene photographers wait years to capture. That gold pavilion emerging from winter snow represents just one moment in Japan's seasonal symphony. But there's a nearby metropolis that orchestrates something far more ambitious. Yokohama, often overshadowed by Tokyo despite being home to 3.7 million people, cycles through 4 distinct personalities annually, with each transformation so complete that visitors in different seasons experience essentially different cities. 30 minutes from Tokyo by train, Yokohama evolved from a fishing village to Japan's international gateway after opening to foreign trade in 1859. This global heritage created a unique architectural tapestry of Japanese elements, Western influences to curry trees and ultramodern design. Like a theater production changing costumes between acts, the city's cultural mosaic dramatically transforms as seasons shift. When spring arrives, Yokohama erupts with pink. The city's 3,000-plus cherry trees transform busy streets into floral tunnels, particularly along the Uka River, where boats glide beneath canopies of blossoms. In Sankei Garden, a historic landscape created by a 19th century silk merchant, ancient cherry trees draw crowds practicing hanami, flower viewing, against backdrops of traditional Japanese architecture. By summer, the harbor area becomes the epicenter of festivities. Yokohama hosts Japan's largest Tanabata celebrations, where thousands of colorful paper wishes hang throughout Chinatown, while massive fireworks displays during the sparkling Twilight Festival reflect across Yokohama Bay, creating mirrored explosions of light between sky and water. As temperatures cool, the historic Yamate district transforms with autumn colors. The Western-style mansions and surrounding maples create a unique site where European architecture frames Japanese maple foliage. Meanwhile, Yokohama's famous Oktoberfest blends German beer traditions with Japanese fall celebrations in Yamashita Park. Winter delivers the most dramatic metamorphosis with the Yokohama illumination, transforming the harbor into a sea of millions of LED lights. The famous Cosmo Clock 21 Ferris wheel becomes the centerpiece of a light display spanning the waterfront, while even the Cup Noodle Museum creates special winter-only exhibits connecting the city's trading history to modern food culture. Beyond the urban light displays of winter Yokohama lies a different kind of Japanese spectacle, one that nature itself orchestrates. The Arashiyama Bamboo Grove is a dynamic environment that changes its character hourly. While millions travel to see the bamboo, fewer than 1% experience its rarest form when winter snow dusts the towering stalks, creating what photographers consider Japan's most elusive natural scene. Located on Kyoto's western outskirts, this otherworldly corridor draws visitors from around the globe. The grove offers 4 distinct sensory journeys throughout the year, each with personalities that extend beyond what cameras typically capture. In spring, the forest floor sprouts new bamboo shoots growing up to 1 meter daily. The canopy shifts to a translucent green as fresh leaves unfurl. Cherry blossoms from adjacent areas create a subtle pink glow at the forest edges during those precious weeks. What local photographer Tanaka Hiroshi calls the breath of spring between green giants. Summer brings the emerald experience most recognize, transformed by Kyoto's afternoon rain showers. During Tsuyu, rainy season, misty conditions filter light in mysterious ways. Listen to the forest's true voice, advise Kyoto elders, referring to the percussion of raindrops striking thousands of bamboo leaves. Autumn brings a metamorphosis as maple leaves drift in from neighboring areas. The vertical green bamboo against the horizontal carpet of crimson creates nature's perfect composition, according to traditional Japanese landscape philosophy. The lower sun angle pierces through at unique trajectories, impossible other times of year. The time of day transforms the grove dramatically. Dawn reveals golden sunbeams cutting through morning mist before crowds arrive. By midday, distinct shadow patterns cross the path as evening approaches. Amber light bathes the corridor in what the locals poetically call the bamboo's golden hour. While photographers chase the amber glow of Arashiyama's bamboo at sunset, an even more ephemeral natural phenomenon captures the entire nation's attention each spring. Japanese weather services issue specialized cherry blossom forecasts that millions follow with the same intensity as baseball standings or stock markets. This pink wave sweeping across the country transforms the very social fabric of Japanese society. The phenomenon begins in Okinawa as early as January before gradually moving northward, reaching Tokyo and Kyoto by late March or early April, and finally blooming in Hokkaido by May. Weather stations track the Sakura Zensen, cherry blossom front, as it advances. Major corporations schedule product launches around these forecasts, while tourism companies adjust their offerings to coincide with peak bloom in each region. Hanami transforms ordinary locations into extraordinary experiences. The concrete-lined Meguro River in Tokyo becomes a pink canopy when its 800 cherry trees bloom simultaneously. In Hirosaki, the 400-year-old castle appears to float on a sea of pink petals. The physical beauty of the blossoms mirrors a remarkable social transformation. Like petals opening to the sun, the normally reserved Japanese abandon their usual formality during Hanami season. Blue tarps appear in parks as families, friends, and co-workers stake out prime viewing spots for picnics lasting from morning until evening. Betty companies designate junior employees as placeholders, who arrive at dawn to secure spaces for afternoon office parties. As darkness falls, the experience evolves with Yozakura, night cherry blossoms. Paper lanterns illuminate the trees from below, creating ethereal pink canopies that seem to pulse with gentle light. The soft glow casts shadows that dance across picnickers' faces, while the sweet scent of blossoms mingles with sake and laughter in the cool evening air. Beyond the delicate cherry blossoms that illuminate mainland Japan lies an island where nature defies the typical Japanese patterns entirely. Did you know there's a place in Japan where you can witness cherry blossoms in January while palm trees sway nearby, and where the ocean itself changes color with each passing season? Okinawa, Japan's southernmost prefecture, sits over 1,500 kilometers from Tokyo in the East China Sea. This subtropical archipelago once formed the independent Ryukyu Kingdom, with a distinct culture blending Japanese, Chinese, and Southeast Asian influences. The Okinawan calendar divides into 4 dramatically different seasonal experiences, each revealing a unique face of this island paradise. Winter brings indigenous Hikanzakura cherry trees bursting into bloom as early as January. Local elders often gather beneath these blossoms, sharing stories while sipping awamori rice liquor, a tradition impossible elsewhere in Japan where winter snow blankets the ground. The ocean during this season offers exceptional clarity for diving among ancient coral formations. During spring's time of big tides, vast stretches of coral reef emerge from receding waters. This phenomenon coincides with traditional Ryukyu festivals honoring ancestral agricultural cycles through dragon boat races and ceremonial offerings. Summer unfolds in 2 distinct phases that reflect Okinawa's complex relationship with the sea. Early summer delivers the postcard-perfect beaches most visitors seek, while late summer introduces typhoon season, powerful storms that bring nutrients triggering spectacular coral spawning. Autumn represents what locals consider their island's golden moment. The sea remains warm enough for swimming through December, while temperatures cool just enough to explore interior jungles and ancient castle ruins comfortably. Fall's culinary calendar features seasonal treasures like mibai, giant grouper, and tropical fruits at peak flavor, embodying the archipelago's unique position between temperate Japan and tropical Southeast Asia. Moving from Okinawa's subtropical seasons to central Japan's alpine extremes, we encounter a region where the thermometer can swing over 70 degrees from winter to summer. Did you know there's a place where you can ski world-class powder in February and hike through meadows of wildflowers in July on the exact same mountainside? Nagano Prefecture, nestled in the heart of the Japanese Alps, hosted the 1998 Winter Olympics, but remains surprisingly undiscovered by international travelers outside the winter months. What locals understand is that this mountainous region undergoes such dramatic transformations that it effectively becomes 4 completely different destinations throughout the year. During winter, Nagano receives some of the heaviest snowfall in Japan, with accumulations reaching several meters at higher elevations. The Jigokudani Monkey Park becomes a surreal winter wonderland where Japanese macaques descend from the mountains to soak in natural hot springs, creating one of wildlife photography's most iconic scenes. Nearby, resorts like Hakuba Valley and Nozawa Onsen transform into powder paradises where skiers can enjoy runs that hosted Olympic competitions. By April, Nagano begins its remarkable spring metamorphosis. As mountain snow begins melting, crystal-clear water feeds the Azumino wasabi fields, where Japan's finest wasabi thrives in special terraced farms that have operated for centuries. The Daio Wasabi Farm becomes particularly spectacular in spring, when visitors can sample everything from wasabi ice cream to wasabi beer, flavors that reach their peak potency only during the season. Summer reveals yet another face of Nagano as alpine meadows burst into technicolor displays. The Norikura Highlands and Mount Shiga feature rare alpine flowers that bloom nowhere else in Japan, creating natural gardens above 2,000 meters. Hikers on the Kamikochi Plateau discover crystal-clear rivers flanked by Japanese larch trees, while adventurous travelers can trek to the summit of Mount Yarigatake for views that extend to Mount Fuji on clear days. From the strategic vantage point of Tokyo Skytree, the sprawling metropolis transforms with each passing season, revealing hidden patterns invisible to the 37 million people moving through its streets below. At 634 meters tall, this Sentinel Tower unveils Tokyo's changing face in ways that ground-level observers could never witness. During winter months, the city displays its most striking urban fabric after snowfall. From above, Tokyo's dense planning becomes a complex mosaic, where snow accumulates differently on various building materials and roof designs. On exceptionally clear winter days, visitors can spot Mount Fuji on the horizon, while tracking the paths of snowplows creating dark ribbons through white neighborhoods. By early April, the perspective shifts dramatically as cherry trees create what locals call the Sakura Network, a pink vascular system flowing through the city along rivers, parks, and temple grounds. From Skytree's observation decks, one can witness this blooming sequence unfold across neighborhoods in a pattern impossible to comprehend at street level. Summer transforms Tokyo again, revealing its surprising hidden forest as the city's tree canopy reaches full density. Despite being one of the world's most populated urban areas, Tokyo appears remarkably green from above, with private gardens, shrine grounds, and centuries-old estates forming interconnected verdant corridors between neighborhoods. Autumn brings nature's most spectacular urban light show, as strategic pockets of Japanese maples ignite across the cityscape. These vibrant splashes of red and gold often mark Tokyo's oldest districts and historical sites, creating a living map of the city's development visible only from the tower's heights. What locals understand, and tourists often miss, is that Skytree isn't merely a one-time photo opportunity, but Tokyo's ultimate seasonal observatory. Its main observation, decks at 350 and 450 meters, offer different perspectives throughout the year, with the tower's height specifically chosen to reference Musashi, 634, the ancient province where Tokyo once stood, connecting this ultramodern structure to the region's deep historical roots. As Tokyo's maple trees mark the passage of autumn with their predictable transformation, one mysterious Japanese island stands in defiance of time itself. Did you know there exists a primeval forest so magical it inspired Studio Ghibli's Princess Mononoke, where thousand-year-old trees gather moss regardless of season and visitors routinely experience spring, summer, fall, and winter, all within the same hiking day? Yakushima floats in the waters south of Kyushu like a green jewel, its mountainous interior rising dramatically from the sea. This UNESCO World Heritage Site receives an astonishing amount of rainfall, nearly 10 meters annually in some areas, creating what locals call a walking through water world. The constant precipitation nurtures an ecosystem where moss carpets blanket every surface in perpetual emerald. What makes Yakushima extraordinary is its compression of Japan's seasonal journey into vertical space, a natural time machine awaiting climbers. The coastal areas bask in subtropical warmth, while the island's central peaks, reaching heights of nearly 2,000 meters, remain cloaked in mist and occasional snow. Hikers ascending from sea level traverse distinct ecological zones, essentially walking through the calendar as they climb. A morning that begins in summer warmth transforms to fall crispness at mid-elevations, before concluding in winter conditions near the summit. The island's crown jewels are the yakusugi, ancient cedar trees that have witnessed centuries pass. These botanical elders develop unique twisted forms shaped by harsh weather, with specimens outliving most human civilizations. Their massive gnarled trunks and twisted branches, draped in vibrant moss despite battering storms, embody a resilience that transcends ordinary concepts of time. Yakushima's moisture-laden atmosphere creates another remarkable phenomenon, an ever-changing landscape of mist. The fog rolls through forests unpredictably, transforming familiar trails into mystical passages. A sunlit corridor of trees can, within minutes, become an ethereal dreamscape where massive cedar silhouettes loom through swirling vapor. From the perpetual mist of Yakushima, we journey to a land where nature delivers not subtle shifts, but complete environmental reversals. Hokkaido stands as Japan's untamed northern frontier, a vast wilderness nearly the size of Austria. Unlike the rest of the archipelago, This island shares more climatic similarities with Siberia than Tokyo, creating seasonal transformations of extraordinary magnitude, with temperatures swinging from -30 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius throughout the year. Winter transforms Hokkaido into a frozen symphony. Cities like Sapporo disappear under mountains of snow, with the Niseko region recording depths capable of burying 3-story buildings. The famous Sapporo Snow Festival showcases ice sculptures the size of actual buildings. While along the northeastern coast, massive drift ice platforms, called ryuhyo, form on the Sea of Okhotsk, offering visitors a rare walking experience during guided tours. Spring erupts in May with remarkable intensity, creating a unique phenomenon where tulips, cherry blossoms, and plum flowers bloom simultaneously, a colorful spectacle that occurs sequentially over months elsewhere in Japan. The Kamyubetsu Tulip Park transforms into a living canvas with over 1 million blooms arranged in geometric patterns. Summer reveals Hokkaido as a vibrant painting. Furano becomes Japan's Provence, with rolling hills of lavender stretching to the horizon. Meanwhile, Daisetsuzan National Park showcases alpine meadows adorned with wildflowers, creating the roof garden of Hokkaido. By September, while Tokyo still swelters, Hokkaido's mountains don their autumn finery. The transformation cascades from the highest elevations downward over weeks, allowing visitors to chase the changing leaves from the peaks of Daisetsuzan to the shores of Lake Toya well into November. For generations, locals have adapted to these dramatic seasonal shifts, developing specialized housing with extra insulation and seasonal cuisine that celebrates each distinct environmental phase. Traveling southwest from Hokkaido's seasonal extremes, we find a city where nature's cycles gained a profound new meaning after August 6, 1945. Did you know that Hiroshima's seasonal transformations are considered by locals to be living symbols of resilience? Where winter snow blankets the Peace Memorial Park in quiet reverence in spring, brings hundreds of survivor-planted cherry trees to bloom around the preserved ruins? While most visitors come to witness the atomic bomb dome and reflect on history, locals understand that Hiroshima's true story is one of remarkable renewal told through its seasonal rhythms. The city's rebirth mirrors nature's own cycles in ways that create powerful emotional experiences throughout the year. In spring, over 300 Somi Yoshino cherry trees burst into bloom throughout the Peace Memorial Park, many planted specifically by survivors in the years following 1945. These delicate pink blossoms frame the skeletal dome in a visual dialogue between destruction and renewal that photographers struggle to capture without feeling overwhelmed by its symbolism. Local elders often tell visitors these trees represent lives lost, but also hope reborn, their annual flowering a testament to the city's determination. By summer, Hiroshima transforms into a city of water and light. The Motoyasu River that flows past the dome becomes the stage for the Hiroshima Port Dream Fireworks Festival, where over 10,000 fireworks illuminate the night sky. Even more moving is the Tokusan Yukata Festival in early June, when thousands of residents dressed in colorful summer kimono fill streets that were once reduced to ash, their joyful celebration, a vibrant reclamation of space once devastated. Autumn brings a contemplative transformation to Shukein Garden, a 400-year-old landscape that remarkably survived the bombing. Its name meaning Shrunken Scenery Garden, this miniature recreation of famous landscapes becomes a canvas of crimson and gold as ancient maple trees reflect perfectly in pond waters. A living continuity that predated, survived, and continues beyond the atomic tragedy. As Hiroshima's autumn leaves fall in tranquil reflection, we journey northward to a volcanic wonderland where Japan's most iconic mountain becomes both star and supporting actor throughout the year. In Hakone, Mount Fuji serves as the centerpiece of a visual transformation so dramatic, in that seeing it in just one season reveals only a fraction of its true character. The mountain's presence elevates the onsen experience, with each hot spring offering a unique framing of this sacred peak. The relationship between Hakone and Fuji defines this region's identity. This renowned onsen town sits within the Fuji-Hakone-Izu National Park, where thermal waters bubble from the earth, inviting visitors to immerse themselves while contemplating the distant silhouette of Fuji. The mountain's changing appearance across seasons compels photographers to return season after season. Winter brings crystalline air and exceptional clarity, offering unobstructed views of Fuji from strategic locations. The Hakone Ropeway carries visitors above Owakudani's volcanic valley, where rising steam frames the perfect cone of the mountain. At Lake Ashi, the vermilion torii gate of Hakone Shrine creates a balanced composition that photographers seek, the harmonious meeting of human craftsmanship with nature's grandeur. Spring transforms the landscape as Hakone's slopes burst with delicate blossoms. The path leading to Hakone Shrine becomes a tunnel of pink and white petals, creating brief moments when Fuji, flowers, and traditional architecture align in what locals call the triple harmony that appears for just days each year. When summer arrives, Hakone showcases its hydrangea display along the historic Tozan Railway, Japan's oldest mountain railway. The journey becomes a passage through waves of blue and purple, as thousands of ajisai flowers border the tracks. Morning travelers occasionally glimpse Fuji between curves, a view so valued that residents arrange their daily schedules around these fleeting moments of visual perfection. As we've explored these remarkable destinations across Japan, one truth becomes crystal clear. This isn't simply a country with 4 seasons. It's a living canvas where nature and culture continuously reinvent themselves. Each location transforms throughout the year, revealing Japan's essence through endless perspectives. This is why experienced travelers plan multiple Japanese journeys, not to see more places, but to witness familiar favorites through new seasonal lenses. When planning your travels, consider timing as the secret ingredient that transforms good experiences into unforgettable ones. In Japan, the cycle of renewal represents the highest form of beauty, a celebration of impermanence itself. What season calls to your traveling spirit? The journey awaits with its ever-changing beauty.